Okay, so today's list is the NBA's franchise players, and just to be clear about how I picked these aren't so much about player contracts or even player effectiveness. It's mostly fan support, and a lot of the way that I look at that is who's an exciting player and who has seniority, who's been around the longest, because obviously fans are going to appreciate the players who've been around longer. So anyway, first off, and also I tried to order these in a way that at the beginning there's going to be teams that don't have a clear-cut player, and at the end it's going to be more obvious. So starting off, the Detroit Pistons. Oh God, well, this team is a mess, and I really don't know who to pick as the franchise player. I mean, here I got Stuckey, Knight, and Gordon, and I don't really know who I would pick out of any of them. I mean, Knight's great production as a rookie, but just a question mark for this one. All right, next up we got the Bucks. It's sort of between Jennings and Bogut. Bogut's been stuck with injury, sideline. Jennings is obviously the more talented player. Bogut was kind of a fluke as a #1 pick, so I guess I would give it to Jennings. Okay, the Rockets. This one's a hard one as well. Kevin Martin is the most talented scorer, in my opinion, on the Rockets, so that's going to give him some priority. He's more exciting to watch than, say, someone like Luis Scola. And, you know, Yao Ming's not there anymore, so I would give it to Kevin Martin. Okay, then we got the Bobcats. Again, another nightmare team. Absolutely no chemistry, and there's really no leader that's emerged as a fan favorite, if they do have fans besides Jordan. Anyway, yeah, I guess I would give it to Maggette because he probably has one of the biggest contracts, although I said that wouldn't matter. But, I mean, in a sense, it kind of does. Again, he's been sidelined with injury, so you can't really give him a lot. And I think Walker's a great rookie, and I'm a UConn fan, so that's probably why. But I don't know. I guess I give it to Maggette. Okay, then we got the Raptors. And, again, this one's... I have this towards the beginning, but I guess it's really not that difficult. I want to give it to Bargnani immediately because he's the most talented scorer on the team. But again, sidelined with injury, and DeRozan is someone who's really emerged as a leader, so he comes in close second. Okay, then we have the Kings. There's a lot of good young talent on this team between Thornton and Cousins and Evans, but I would give it to Evans. The most awarded player on the team so far, Rookie of the Year. You know, Cousins didn't get that. He's also all over the place. But Thornton is a great scorer. But it goes to Evans. Okay, now we got Golden State. 3 very talented players on this team between Curry and Ellis and Lee. Lee's production hasn't been amazing as of late, and Curry again has been sidelined with injury. But Ellis is probably the best undersized scorer in the NBA, and he's really a joy to watch him play. I mean, I think he had a 50-plus point game this season, so it's going to Ellis. Okay, then we got the Pacers. This team, like the 76ers, is a team that is, you know, good at sharing the ball. It's not really a superstar kind of team. And I guess before this season, if you would have asked me, I would have said Granger in a heartbeat, but he didn't make All-Star, and Hibbert did, so I got to think that the fans like him more, so it goes to Hibbert. Okay, the Grizzlies. Well, this is a great picture in that it really reflects the three picks. Actually, there's a short guy in there. I don't know who that is. Anyway, we got Randolph, Gasol, and Gay. Again, I'm a UConn fan, so I want to say Gay, but the fans picked Gasol, and he's got a bigger name, so I got to go with Marc Gasol. Okay, then we got the Hawks. They kind of had their big 3 in Horford, Johnson, and Smith, but it looks like it's possible that they may be broken up with Smith and trade deals, so I would say that it would go to Johnson because I think they're most loyal to him, and Horford's been stuck with injuries. Okay, the Hornets, again, another mess of a team, and I really don't know who to give it to. I think it was people put faith in Gordon that he would be their savior after he got dealt to them from Clippers, but he's shown that he doesn't want to play there, even though he is talented. Okafor is someone who's been with the franchise for a while, and he has some longevity, so I guess I would consider him, but I can't really pick anyone. The Cavs, I know he's been there for less than a season, but definite Rookie of the Year candidate and very talented scorer. I have to give it to Irving. And if you say otherwise, I have to disagree with you. It's not Parker. He's ancient. Jameson has really poor chemistry. Verjao is great. He's a great player, but doesn't generate the intention that Irving would. Okay, another mess of a team. We got the Wizards. JaVale McGee, incredibly talented center, good at blocking. Probably, I would say, the most underrated center in the NBA. Very good defensively, great dunks. Not great offensively, but it has to go to John Wall. He got snubbed at a Rookie of the Year from Blake Griffin. I mean, he didn't deserve it, but he's a great second choice. So I got to give it to Wall. Okay, and then we got the Nuggets. This is another team with a lot of talent, but I don't know if I would say that anyone's a star. Again, this one, I don't know. I can't pick anyone. Nene's great. Lawson's great. Gallinari has really emerged this season, but I can't pick a definite one. Oh, wow. Duncan. Yeah, the Spurs. I mean, I can't give it to anyone else. Parker's fantastic, but, you ask around all the NBA fans, and, I guarantee you more will know the name Tim Duncan than Tony Parker, even though he's having a breakout season. Okay, then we got the Jazz, and this is a very front court heavy team. With Hayward emerging, you got the good young talent with Favors and with Cantor, and obviously with Jefferson and Millsap. And I like Millsap more, but it has to go to Jefferson. I think he is more respected as a player by the fans and certainly by the coaching staff and the general management, because he hasn't been in trade deals and Millsap has. Okay, the Knicks, this is another hard one. As of late, it would obviously be Jeremy Lin, but I don't know. Again, Anthony has been in trade talks, and Sotomayor's great, but, the injuries have really inhibited his production. So I'm going to give it to Jeremy Lin. I know he's not in the picture, so sorry about that. Okay, Clippers, this is a hard one between Griffin and Paul, but this one has to go to Griffin because he's been with the team longer. And that could change if Chris Paul ends up winning MVP this year for his transformation. He's really helping that team. Okay, Timberwolves, this one is a little difficult, but I think it goes to Love. Rubio's emerging. He's an incredible young player. I would say a close second to Irving for Rookie of the Year, but this one has to go to Love. He's simply put the best power forward in the NBA. Don't say Griffin, don't say Aldridge, because no one can stretch the floor like Kevin Love. I mean, for God's sake, he won the three-point contest. I think he's second in the league in boards and top 10 in points. You can't beat that. Okay, we got the Blazers. A lot of talent on this team, not a lot of cohesion. Started off the season well, but kind of teetering off. And I'm going to have to give this one to Aldridge because he's the only all-star. Wallace, great offensive production. Canby, a fantastic defensive player, but it has to be Aldridge. Okay, now we're getting to the more clear-cut ones. Okay, this has got to be James. I know Dwayne Wade's been there longer, led them to a championship, but, Miami is not Wade's city anymore. It's LeBron's. Okay, Suns, clearly Nash. He's the only good player. I mean, Gortat is great, but Nash has been there longer, and he's got the loyalty. And who doesn't love Steve Nash? He puts the butts in the seats, and that's why the Suns don't want to get rid of him. Okay, again, Sixers share the ball really well. They're a great team, but I think Igoudala is the clear star, the only all-star on the team, and I would say the most talented. You got spot-up shooter and Meeks and some good defensive work and some offensive production with Hawes and a decent bench, but it's got to be Igoudala. Okay, Thunder, again, very talented team. I think sixth man of the year in James Harden. Fantastic point guard in Westbrook. Great interior defense with Ibaka, but it's got to be Westbrook. Two-time scoring champion. Could do it this year if he surpasses Kobe and LeBron. Yeah, it's got to be him. Okay, D Rose, obviously for the Bulls, reigning MVP, some great production out of Deng, and yeah, he's a close second, I guess, but not really because Rose is much better. Yeah, okay, Celtics, this one's got to be Pierce. We got the big three. We got Allen, Pierce, and Garnett. Garnett clearly passes prime. Production's declining a little bit, but I mean, Pierce is Boston City. And you can't really give it to Rondo based on how easily management was willing to give him up and trying to shop him around. And he's not the reliable scorer that Pierce is, and he doesn't have the range that Pierce does, which is funny because he's a point guard and Pierce is a forward. And I think Allen is fantastic, but this one's got to go to Pierce. Okay, and we got now we got the easy ones. Dwight Howard, Magic. That's it. I mean, and all the trade deals packaged with Howard is Turkoglu, but no one's ever like, oh my God, Turkoglu, we can't let him go. I mean, no one gives a shit about Turkoglu. It's all about Howard. Fantastic player. What can I say about Howard? He's amazing, and no matter what disputes the fans may have about his current demeanor on and off the court, he continues to help the Magic. He leads the league in boards per game, a decent score. Yeah, it's got to be Howard. Okay, Kobe for the Lakers. There's another no-brainer. Don't really need to get into that. Darren Williams for the Nets. I think some people may consider Chris Humphries because, in my opinion, he's the second best player on the team. But again, Brook Lopez may challenge him for that. But God, do the fans hate Humphries after that whole Kardashian mess? And then finally, we got the Mavericks. It's got to be Dirk Nowitzki. Led them to a championship last year, and looking really starting to look great in the second half of the season. And I would say that he leads the team in scoring and better offensive production than we've seen from Terry, and continues to allow them to try and be a force in the playoffs. So Nowitzki for the Mavs. All right, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more lists.